It's a fun sound. All right. What's going on, people? People of the internet? How's it going? All right. Yes, very much. Cheating if that's the boundary in the relationship. Okay. Welcome, everybody. My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach. Here to ask the question, is porn cheating? Is it cheating if you're masturbating while watching strangers on the internet have sex while you're in a relationship? Daisy Dukes, hello. Kayla, hello. Who else is out there? Faith Duncan, hello. You've been on a roll this week. Yes, I have. If you're putting it over your partner, yes. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's bring on a guest. Shaft Money 33. You want to come on? What's going on? Hello, are you
Hey,
there?
how you doing?
Hey, good man. What's up?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. Is porn
Um,
cheating?
I mean, from my perspective, I'm going to say no.
Okay. Why is
Um,
that?
I mean, I just think that, you know, you're not physically with somebody. I think if everybody's being honest, I think it's something that probably most people watch, right, or have watched, whether they're in a relationship or not. If you're in a relationship, I still think that most people probably do. I mean, I watch that, with my partner. It's something that we use in the bedroom. Don't want to get too personal, but um, I don't necessarily think it is. I mean, I think if you were to say that's cheating, I mean that would basically be like saying, like, if I looked at a swimsuit magazine and I saw a hot girl, oh, I cheated there. Or if my girlfriend looked at a magazine and saw a hot guy, oh, all of a sudden she's like, it's in my mind, like, it's taking it too far. Like, I don't think it's cheating
Got it. All
for
right. So,
either
you,
for
so
either party.
yeah. All right. So you have a girlfriend, you said?
Correct.
All right. And so you said you guys watch porn together. Do you ever watch it by yourself?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, if I'm not, if I'm traveling, or if she's not with me, or and I mean, she does too. So
Got it. All right. And so you watch, like, you watch other people who are having sex?
correct.
All right. Got it. Like, how many other people would you say on an average month do you masturbate to having sex?
I mean, I don't know, handful times.
10 or so?
Sure.
I mean, how many people? Like,
Five.
how many other women are you using for your sexual pleasure? That's really the question I'm asking.
I mean, from that, source, yeah, yeah, five times a month
About five,
if I'm not
five,
with her.
five other women, or 5 times that you masturbate while watching porn?
Well, I mean, it's just random. I mean, I don't know whatever I'm looking looking up, but yeah, probably more than five women. Yeah,
More than five
definitely.
women. So maybe five
Yeah,
sessions, 5 masturbation sessions, 5 or 10 videos per session.
sure.
All right, so 50
Nah,
to
it doesn't take
100
that
other
much.
women,
It doesn't take that many. I'd probably say two to three, maybe
two to
two to
three.
three videos. Want to get technical here, but yeah,
2 to 3
two to
times
three.
five sessions a month, so like 15, 20 other women. Got it. Why are you
Okay, that's
using,
fair. Yeah.
okay, all right, 15, 20 other women per month who you're masturbating to get sexual pleasure who are not your girlfriend? Why do you do that?
I mean, it's a good question. I would just say, I only do it, uh, if I'm traveling or if we're away from each other. That's my answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're traveling, so when you're with her, why don't you do it when you're with her?
Oh, we do. I thought I said that earlier.
Oh, I'm
We
sorry.
do watch it together.
Yeah, no, I got that. I meant like you don't watch it alone when you're physically in the same geography?
Oh no, definitely not.
Definitely not. Why is that?
Well, because I'm with her. If you know what because we're doing that.
All right. So what is it about not being with her that makes it so you masturbate while watching other women have sex?
I mean, what else am I? If I need to get, what else am I going to do? I mean, to get a release. I mean, my only alternative in my mind would be to actually cheat, or as I see, actual cheating. So,
To
I
physically
mean,
cheat.
you could probably make the case that this topic probably deflects men and women from going out and doing the real thing. If you think about it,
Well, when does cheating become cheating?
in my mind, for me personally, and this is just my opinion, I think cheating becomes cheating if you have any sort of that word, interaction with another partner that's not with another person that's not your actual partner via text, phone call, or in-person interaction. And if any of it is romantically involved in any way, shape, or form, whether that's sending pictures, texting, in person, whatever, I would consider that cheating right then and there.
Oh, so then porn's cheating. Using somebody else's
Well, I
pictures?
mean, I hear what you're saying, and I
It's
appreciate
not.
because
It's hold
it's
on,
why.
hold on, hold on, hold on. It's not what I said. It's what you said.
Well, can I give an
Shoot.
opinion about?
We're stuck,
Okay,
aren't we?
a little bit. Well, the big difference in that though is the fact that obviously when I'm doing that, porn, and I'm looking at that other person, it's not like, I'm not texting them afterwards, great scene, can't wait to see you next week. Like I don't, you know what I'm trying to say? Like it's
Well,
not like,
you might not, but then again, next week you're going back to that same great scene and seeing him again in another week.
well, that's
So your
interesting. I mean, I never thought about it like that, but
so your actions indicate that that's what's actually going on. You might not say those words, but that's what's happening. So here's
well,
the
I'm a
question.
cheater then. No,
Here's the
no,
question. Okay, there you go. There you go. You're a cheater. All
no.
right, great. Well, hey man,
Well, then
it
my
takes
girlfriend would be too, technically. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
So.
So what do you think? What do you think would be the most honoring way to be with your partner or to create a sexual relationship with your partner? To masturbate while watching strangers on the internet have sex, or to just focus on creating that intimacy with her?
No, I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, focus on creating that full round intimacy with her. Which I guess when we don't, I guess you're kind of, yeah. I guess when we don't see each other, I mean, it's not like we don't send each other pics and stuff still, like when we're not together. But I mean, it's not, you know, obviously I'm doing what I'm doing and she does what she does. And yes, I would agree with you. Yeah, to fortify our intimate relationship. Yeah.
Okay. So you would agree that maybe if you weren't masturbating while watching strangers have sex on the internet, you could have increased intimacy with her.
Yes.
Great. Is that something you're up for doing?
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, do it. How are you going to do that?
Well, I guess the first thing would be just to communicate with her. I mean, we've been together for a good bit now, and we've overcome a lot of our already communication challenges, which is honestly a blessing. But I don't know how. I think
Yeah.
God. But anyways, yo, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, man. Look. I love that you're hanging in there with the conversation, right? So, look, you've
Yeah.
named something here pretty clearly, and like you've hung in here really well. All right. So, what
Thanks.
else could be possible for you guys? What new level of intimacy could you guys have if you got rid of the fake sex, the fake intimacy. Porn kills love. It's not real.
Sure.
It's lustful. It is seeking something that can never fulfill you. That's why you keep going back to it. And now you guys are co-conspiring in it by watching it together.
Yeah.
So, okay. And look, I did for 20 years as well. I get it. But I will tell you that just focusing on creating intimacy with your partner is so much better. Right now, it's not going to happen overnight. You got a lot to unwind in your brain and your habits and your patterns. Fine, but beautiful. Have a conversation with her. See if she's on the same page.
Yeah.
And do you think if we kick the porn, maybe we could create something different here and go from there?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it, man. Go to the link in my bio if you want any help or other resources. Be happy to help. But go have that conversation with her, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it,
Awesome.
man. All right. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye.
All right. W's in the chat for that guy. W's in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Like and share, people. Like and share. What are we at? 3,300 likes. Let's get that up to 10,000. That's a good milestone. Like and share. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, as well as both for men dealing with porn or sex addiction and women dealing with partner betrayal trauma. Shaft Money, yeah, man. Pleasure. If you're interested in any of that, go to the link in my bio. If you want to support me, you can go to the link in my bio. There's a Cash App link. I'm only going to say it once at the beginning, once at the end. That's it, based on our conversation last night. So a bunch of people give W's for the guest and an L for the host. Thank you, Ben Dover. Thank you for that L. Would you like to come on and chat? Wish my husband would watch your video. Send them to him. I'll be here. Big L for the host. Thank you for the L's. I don't want to support you. Great. Don't support me then. Look who's here. California Mary. Right on schedule. The video you posted on Instagram was so funny. You are so tall, you almost didn't fit in the frame. Yes, I am very tall. That is true. LMAO. Owned. Yeah, you sure did own me, Juggernaut. I got so owned. Wow. Austin, we can barely buy eggs, but I'll like the life until my thumbs fall out. Thank you, Krista. I appreciate that. W's in the chat for Krista. How tall? I'm 6'7". I'm closer to 7 foot than I am 6 foot. I'm a giant. How come wives being the problem never comes up? Well, why don't you come on and chat, my business? Let's talk about that. Oh, here we go. This Juggernaut guy. Let's talk to him. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up? I just want to know what it's like to have an underdeveloped prefrontal cortex.
Why are you asking that? Like you're asking for the people who are
Well,
addicted
because
to porn?
you clearly believe in a fairy tale afterlife.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, why don't you tell me more? Am I wrong?
I don't believe in a fairy tale afterlife.
No? You
No.
don't believe in Jesus Christ and God and America?
Jesus Christ, I believe in Jesus Christ, I believe in God, and I believe in America. Yes, those are three things.
Okay,
that are,
so you
that
do
are true.
believe in a fairy tale afterlife. Because
No.
those things are fairy tales.
So your assertion is that Jesus Christ, God, and America are fairy tales. That's wild.
No, just that the things go together when in the hands of underdeveloped prefrontal cortexes.
Got it. So when you have an underdeveloped prefrontal cortex, you believe in things like Jesus Christ, God, and America. Am I following you?
Yeah, 100%. You got it. You figured it
Okay.
out. You cracked the
All right.
case.
Crack the
Fucking Dick
case.
Tracy on the case over here.
All right. Thanks for sharing, man. Very
Yes.
intelligent conversation. Oh, we love it. Love TikTok, don't we? Hey there, what's going on? Hello. Daisy Dukes. Hello. Daisy Dukes, you there? 170 viewers. It's a mass debate. Way to go, SJNS 90. That was clever. It's a mass debate. There's always that. We always get at least one of them a night, don't we, Danielle? Coming here and putting their religious trauma everywhere. Hey there, what's going on? Hello. ODB. ODB. I'm never even near my phone. This happens. Oh, I don't get. How does that happen? You have to hit the request button. California Mary in the house. What's up, Mary?
Why are you getting all kinds of trolls tonight?
I just got on. I've had 2 guests. I had one great one and one troll. So stick around. You know how it goes.
Oh, I thought the other one was a troll too that was trying to talk.
Oh, no. No. I've only had 2 guests, right?
Yeah, the one didn't talk, right? She was making some kind of noise.
Oh, no. Before that. There was a guy before that. Very delightful
Yeah,
conversation.
I saw him. I
Yeah.
saw him. I was like, what is he doing? Like, what's going on here?
No.
How's it
There was-
going? So you
there was
just
one
got
before
on.
that. I just got on. Yeah.
Oh,
Do you want to stay on here, Mary? Will I bring other people up?
yeah, sure. I wanted to tell you real quick that I looked into that whole situation that the girl was talking about last night
Uh-huh.
with one of the boys, and
Yeah.
so of course when he revealed his girlfriend, then everyone came out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
His real girlfriend.
Okay.
Just
So
wanted to.
so is it a true story? Like more or
It's a
less?
true story in the respect that he's 22 years old, Austin. Like, think back to when you were 22. You didn't have a roster. You just had a roster of girls. Like, what? I mean, I'm not condoning it, but I mean, let's be serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
I
just
got
went
you.
after him. He's always going after the other side, so they just
Well,
went after him.
they're going to be targeted a lot. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Well, great
Uh,
question. It must have been 2023. I think that's probably right. I'm trying to think. No,
Hello.
we're doing Twitter.
Analog Boomer, are you there? We got 2
Yeah, I'm
boomers
here.
on here.
How are you?
Sorry, Barry.
Yes.
I think it was spring of 23.
Yeah, I'm here.
What is that
Analog is
noise in
here.
the background? Can you
What's
turn the
going
TV
on?
off? Can you turn the radio off in the background?
It's a party line.
Not so far.
Um,
Paperback was
yeah.
supposed to be.
Somebody, can you hear me? I'm
So
Boomer.
it's still-
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You're
we
such
can
a
hear
boomer,
you
dude.
and your
Yeah,
whole
we-
family.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying.
It's just
Yeah.
me, an
No,
empty
when
house.
I went to
There's
school,
nobody
there was
else here but me.
What's the radio behind you?
I don't have a
He was a
radio.
liberal. He was still a Democrat.
Okay,
Is
so
that you,
there's
Mary?
some kind of situation going
All right,
on.
I got rid of him.
Oh,
He's too big
yeah,
of a
he-
boomer.
Yeah, that was. You know what's funny? You're probably too young to remember party lines. Do you remember when there was a landline and there was party lines where you'd start hearing other people's conversation?
I know what a landline is, not a party line.
Oh, well, on the landlines you'd be on the phone and all of a sudden you could hear even somebody on the phone
Oh.
in their conversation. It was horrible.
Oh.
Technology was shitty back then. But go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, very good, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Is porn cheating?
Thank you very much. Yes, it is. And I really want to say one thing very quickly. I'm very happy you're doing this, and I really wish people are not angry at you for doing this because you're really doing a good thing. So what I wanted to say is this: porn is cheating because one, it takes the essence of it takes your life force away. In your relationship, when you watch this porn, you're not gonna be able to give to your wife or to your girlfriend what you're supposed to give to her. What I'm trying to say is this: is that whenever you watch this porn, there's no way you can perform your sexual duty with your wife or with your girlfriend because you've released your life force. I've literally had a lot of women come up to me and they kept crying to me saying, my husband doesn't perform, doesn't do this in bed anymore. He doesn't do this anymore. He's always tired. He's always this. Is always he comes home and he's weak. And one question I kept asking these women is that, does your husband watch his porn? And they reply by saying yes. I said that's the reason why. When you
I'm
watch
just curious. Why are women coming up to you and telling you this?
because sometimes I give advices on this topic.
Got it. Okay.
To other-
So you're kind of
to
in
other-
this space as well, talking about it.
Yes, to other women. So and these are like my sister's friends. They come up to me and I told them when a man watches porn in a relationship, it is cheating because one, he's not going to be able to perform what he's supposed to do, and it's and and because of that, because I've been through it, I've gone through the same thing. I was addicted to porn, and I never thought I would. If I have a girl, once I get a girlfriend, I will be in such a situation. Until I found myself in that situation, I kept watching porn while I had a girlfriend. And the wrong thing to do is for you to get a woman just to satisfy your lust. That is the wrong mentality. If you're addicted to porn, do not get a woman thinking, oh, once I get a woman, that porn addiction is going to go off. It won't go off. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So and that's a wrong mentality. So for me, I would say porn is cheating because of that.
Yeah.
I don't have much. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. You want to have an interesting conversation?
Of course.
Great. Let's bring this guy back on. Hey, what's up, man? Prefrontal cortex, man.
Yeah. A lot of underdeveloped prefrontal cortexes in the stream tonight. I would say it's not the porn that's making the guys have weak performance. It's their lack of stamina, and they need to just man up. Maybe practice some tantric
And your
sex.
credentials? Could I hear what your credentials are, please?
Yeah, you wanna get in the bed and I'll show you.
No. I want to know what your
Yeah, that's what I
credentials
thought.
are.
That's what I thought.
No,
I'd
you don't have to
squirting
think.
like
You
a
can
fountain.
know. You can know.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Juggernaut. Can I
I
say
do
one
know.
thing?
I do
Juggernaut,
know. I'd have you squirting like a fountain. I wouldn't even have to try with the likes
Juggernaut,
of
can I
you.
say one thing, please?
Why are you trolling?
Juggernaut, let me say one thing.
He's not trolling. He's just.
Your stamina is not to do
Yeah,
with.
he is.
I'm blocking
It's
him.
not. It's not because of
I
lack of
I
stamina.
blocked him. Yeah, that's. Sorry, Mary.
It's
I
okay.
apologize. I know you
I
can take it, but I'm
I
sorry.
can handle this.
Yeah.
And one thing I would like to
I
say.
was called a Democratic whore the other night.
Oh my gosh.
And I said that, of course I am, because the Republicans made me that way.
I know, Juggernaut, I know you might be listening. I know you might be listening to this, Juggernaut. But if you realize Mike Tyson and all the great boxers in life, Muhammad Ali, they stay away from pornography for 5 years. Majority of them stay off porn so they don't feel weak. When you release, it takes the life force out of you, and that's why they stay away from all these activities. When it comes to when they have a fight coming up, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So it's nothing to do with stamina.
Yeah, that was a pretty terrible argument.
Right. That's why I was asking for the credentials.
Yeah. All right, let's bring someone else on here. Who disagrees? Who thinks that porn is not cheating in the chat and wants to come on and talk? Who thinks that porn is not cheating? Let's do a panel tonight. Hall and Oates, okay. Did you request? Yeah, here you are. Who else? And like and share, people. Like and share if you like my content. No. Like and share. Follow me if you like my content. Follow button's up there somewhere. Like and share. We're at 12,000 likes. Let's go.
And the Cash App is in the bio.
And the Cash App's in the bio. Mary, I've decided it's just not my brand to be spamming that all
Just
throughout the
leave
live.
it there. It's
I'll leave
okay.
it there. It's fine, but I don't need
Okay.
to spam it.
Hi, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can.
This is
okay,
my
who el-
first time doing.
Great. Hold on
a
one
live.
second, Hall
This is
Notes. I
crazy.
want to find
Yeah,
somebody
go ahead.
else who disagrees or who thinks porn is cheating. Chom Tarley.
I
Okay.
disagree that porn
Yeah,
is cheating.
I got it. Austin, do you have a job? This is my job. So yes, I do.
Which is why the Cash App's in the bio.
Oh my gosh. All right, so Hall Notes, welcome.
supporting
You don't yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. You don't think porn is cheating. Tell us more.
In my opinion, I think everyone's like relationship is very different and unique to them, and cheating isn't something that is a for yes, no, or yes. It's unique to every relationship, and I'm in a long distance relationship, and I don't think porn is cheating because obviously I think like relationships extend more than just that aspect. And when you're in a long distance relationship, you have to just commit to everything, and porn isn't, I guess, something that needs to be in the equation always.
It's not something that does?
Yeah, it's not something that does.
Got it. Do you guys use porn?
I think I speak for a lot of women when I say I think I prefer to read porn, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't I don't think porn is cheating. Like, porn is something that's unrealistic to relationships, and as long as you both have good communication and understand that that's the case, you can also understand that porn in, read form, like written form, audio form, and everything. Like, it's not something that's detrimental to your relationship, I guess.
Got it. So pornography is not detrimental to relationships.
Yeah, it extends so much more than that.
Yeah. Chom and Charlie, try again. The thing was just spinning. It's like you didn't join in. So try again, and I'll bring you on. All right.
I heard Zach said that if you're a porn addict, if you're like a porn addicted person, yes, it is. My sister actually got cheated on by someone who was addicted to porn. He even wrote it in his diary. It was like an insane thing, but that's what I mean. It depends on each relationship. Like, if your girl comes up to you and says that they don't fuck with that, like, then they don't, and that's
Got it.
as long as
All
you
right.
set boundaries.
All right, Chom and Charlie, what do you think? Is porn cheating?
No. I used to when I was younger. And then as I got older, my opinion on it changed because it's just porn. I watch it and it's never, I don't watch porn and wish I was with that person that I'm watching, because most of the time I watch women, so it's just a bit of, yeah, I don't think it's cheating. I'm not wishing to be with that person. I wouldn't go off and be with that person given the opportunity.
Got it. All right. So you guys, Hall & Oates and Chom and Charlie, you don't think porn's cheating. Mary's just here for the ride. She's a great supporter. Mary, you think porn's cheating, right?
Sorry,
Mary?
I was busy tapping.
Oh.
So I do think that it's cheating. Yes, I do. I
Okay,
think, and more than it being cheating, which is irrelevant to what it really is, which is an issue, an underlying issue. It's
I agree
not,
with that.
yeah. The cheating is. I mean, because I don't agree with it, even if you are single. So whether it's cheating or not is irrelevant to me.
Got it. And
But I
then the most
understand it's
handsome.
your question.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is cheating because one thing you have to realize: when guys are addicted to pornography, when we are having intercourse with you, we're not thinking of you. We are thinking about the pornography
Exactly.
we've been installing into our brain. So we don't find you attractive. We don't find you attractive anymore because of what we've been watching, and that's why pornography is cheating, and which is damaging. It's very damaging to ourselves.
Yeah. Got it. All right. So what is thinking about objectification? If we look at pornography as objectifying other people, what benefit does that have for us? Hall & Oates and Chom and Terry.
I think we can. Oh, sorry. You go first.
No, sorry, I missed the question. My phone keeps going quiet. What was the question?
Well, when we're looking at pornography, and people look at pornography, they're objectifying another person and using them for their sexual pleasure. So the question is, what good comes from objectifying other people?
They are being objectified, but they are actually doing it on their own watch. And if you see well, I've only seen women these days, but obviously men do it too. Bonnie Blue, this other girl, they're doing it off their own back. They're like absolutely just, well, just embarrassing us women, to be honest, sleeping with 1,000 men in 24 hours and all that. I don't feel like they're being objectified then. And especially that woman, her parents are her managers, so it's hard for me to be like,
But you
how do you
don't
feel
think
about
they're
them
you don't think they're being objectified?
They might be, but they're loving it. Would you disagree with that?
But it's the lesson of objectifying that's even worse. Like,
But with I'm gonna say it in this, I might get booted. It's porn stars do their job because they want to do their job. They're not being trafficked. They're not being forced. And if you look at TikTok these days, most of them are like, yeah, well, you have a go at me, but look at me. I'm
Have you
bringing
ever
in all
been
the...
involved in that industry? Because
No.
a lot of them are not having fun, and a lot of them are rugged with
Right, but I'm talking about what...
Can I just say that I think something about porn that isn't talked enough is about ethical porn, in the sense that if women and men get equal pay, right? If an OnlyFans model is going to get paid for the content she's creating, like Bonnie Blue, like you said, then I think if they're treated equally, they do it out of their own volition. So it's not necessarily objectification if that's their job. And, you know, what do you guys think?
It's not a job. That's what I think.
Have you read a lot about like ethical porn? I mean, there's tons of articles.
Yes, there's a lot of, you know, obviously with Pornhub, you don't know what kind of creators are on there, but
We actually do know. There was a study done. You guys know what I'm going to say. Where 1 in 8 videos on the homepage were underage people or people there non-consensually. So we do know what's on Pornhub.
I didn't know that, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Like Pornhub isn't something that is, and
that's a
by
big
any
part of
means
it.
an
That
ethical source of porn. I think Balesa, if you guys have heard of it, it's advertised as well as ethical porn made by women for women is one of their taglines. But in other senses, they make sure that there's consensual contracts and equal pay, and I think that's worth
but that's
something.
That's for all porn, though. There's consensual contracts and whatnot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
mean in the
we
industry
like there's a
of
book called
porn
The Porn Myth that actually debunks a lot of these things. One of the things with the contracts is they do have these contracts, and then they go to the room and something very different happens.
That's really sad.
And this is well
It is
documented.
sad. But, you know, you see that people carry on doing it. And I'm going to make a joke out of this, and you're probably going to throw me. I mean, I wouldn't need porn if I could just find a man to come throw me about, you know? I wouldn't have to come on the internet and look at it to get me off.
Okay, talk
That
more
was a
about that.
joke.
There's truth behind
It
those
was a
jokes. Talk
joke.
more about it.
It's a joke. Okay, guys, don't get upset with me.
Nobody's upset. But what do you like? What's the intent behind that?
Me watching porn?
Well, what does it say about yourself that you watch pornography?
Says that I enjoy watching other people have sex.
And why? What are you actually longing for?
I'm not longing for anything. Nothing am I longing for. Just in that moment. It takes me no longer than 30 seconds to come when I watch porn. Because I skip to the end, I get to the bit that I want to see, boom, I'm done. I don't treat it as a ritual, like, because I have male friends that do treat it as a ritual, and they're like, how can you do it in that quick? Like, you have to edge and, like, spend half hour, an hour. That's a problem. That's a problem. But for me, I'm just like, no. I want to get off. This is what I'm doing. And, yeah. I mean, I'd love more than anything in the world for a man to be doing it, but they're just not around these days.
How long have you
So
been
you have to go on the
participating in that ritual?
Huh?
How long have you been doing that to where you I mean, what I'm hearing is you're saying I've given up on being with a man or having an actual intimate relationship.
You'd be correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd be correct in thinking that.
All right. How long ago did you give up on that?
I haven't had sex in 2 years now. I think a bit longer.
Okay.
I would rather please
It's not all about
myself.
sex, by the way, but like, what about like creating
It isn't.
intimacy
It
with another
isn't.
person?
But it isn't. But we've all got needs, and you know, when I get horny, I would rather do that than go out and have a one-night stand.
I have a great video idea, by the way. I open an I should just do this right now. It might not be good for TikTok. Has anyone ever died from not masturbating? and then it has a little AI generation.
That's
There are
not
no
the
real
point. No,
risks.
I'm not
There are no
saying.
real health risks with
I'm
not
not
masturbating, though some people
saying
may
if you
find it
don't.
challenging and frustrating, triggering moodiness and irritation. In some cases, it may also cause
Okay, listen
something.
to me.
So,
Now Google. For women, no, we won't die. But now Google masturbation in men and prostate cancer.
so what's your assertion?
Very different for men. Men need to
Yeah,
come
so do
regularly.
you want your answer? From WebMD, some studies suggest a potential link between frequent ejaculation and a decreased risk of prostate cancer. WebMD explains the evidence is not conclusive. So we don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you, may I ask, are you Christian or some religion?
Define Christian.
I don't know because I'm not I'm not religious or anything at all. So I was just wondering that.
Got it. I'm not religious either. I reject religiosity.
Yeah. I just want. Sorry. I don't believe in any of those research that a man has to do that to avoid prostate cancer. Believe me, all that is just lies, and that's all I can say. I can say.
Well, let's
to
just
that.
say it's true. Let's just say it's true that frequent ejaculation reduces the risk of prostate cancer. What does that have to do with objectifying other people in pornography?
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. So your argument kind of falls flat on its face. You're basically saying, well, we need pornography. We need to go fuel this industry that we know.
Wait, hold on, calm your thumb. I did not say.
Hold on.
I did not say
you're
we
making the
need
assertion.
it.
Well, what about prostate cancer? It's
I
a
did
little.
not say we needed
Okay,
it.
clarify.
And
Clarify.
Mr. Sirman, what is your name?
My name's Austin. What's your name?
Austin. My name's Kerry. I did not say that we need it or anything. All I said was, okay, that porn in my mind is not cheating and that I use it. I did not in one sentence say that we need it.
I got it.
So be careful how you speak to me.
Sure. What was your point about prostate cancer? Will you clarify that?
So there are studies that say that men should ejaculate regularly because obviously the testicles constantly make new sperm every single day, and if you are not releasing that sperm, essentially what you end up with is how to explain it, out of date semen in your balls.
Blue balls?
Okay.
It's not tied to cancer, at least at this time.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
Okay. So fair point. So what does that have to do with pornography?
No, nothing. That's what I'm saying. I think we got
Okay,
a bit
got it.
sidetracked.
Well, I got it. Then why are you bringing that up?
Okay, because I got sidetracked. I'm telling you again. By the way, look, this isn't me like jumping out of this or anything. I have autism, so I'm trying not to stray on things here, and I'm trying to be kind, and I'm trying to have a debate. But I feel like this is going a little bit on attack mode.
No.
And when I've been quite polite, I've answered most of your
You're fine.
questions.
You're fine. I apologize if you feel
I've
that way.
said I don't like me personally. I don't think porn is cheating. And then somehow somebody else swayed it to something else, and then when I've replied, now it's like, why am I talking about it?
No. Can I respond with an alternative question to is porn cheating? Are blue balls real? That since you mentioned it, Austin, I think that's a conversation that a lot of women have been wanting to have. It's definitely up in the air, and I feel like
So I'm going to change my whole platform to make the prompt: Are blue balls real?
Hey, Austin, I think someone in the live doesn't think it's cheating, wants to come up, and her name's Mel, and I think she's in the business. So you could drop me to bring her up if you want.
All right. I know you'll be back, Mary.
Yeah, right.
W's
If
for
you want me
Mary.
to drop, I can drop also if you want.
Yeah, you guys are fine. I feel like I've talked to Mel before.
Hi, yeah, I don't think we've talked before on
We
here
haven't
now.
talked. Okay. All right. How's it going?
Good, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to just talk about a couple of different points that you've made and really just to explain my point of view as someone that is in the industry. I make pornographic content myself. I am in a relationship, a very committed relationship that I've been in for I would say around 10 years now, a very healthy relationship with my partner. We both watch porn separately and together. And I do not think it has negative impacts on our relationship in any way. And that is coming from somebody who makes porn without him and with him, and also consumes it as well. We have a very healthy, happy relationship. We're trusting within each other that porn is where it stops. We don't go out looking to have physical sex with other people.
And I bet you have the
is your-
best relationship.
And we
Is
do.
your-
We have a great relationship.
I bet you have the
And
best sex.
we do. We
Is-
have amazing sex. Our sex life is brilliant. But to be honest,
Hold
I
on,
think
real quick, Mel. Can I just ask? Is your
Of course.
content? Is it just solo content like OnlyFans, or are you like having
No,
sex
she
with other
just
people?
said.
no, both.
Okay, got it.
So I think the problem with the question is porn cheating is. Can you clarify cheating for me? Can you clarify your understanding of the term cheating?
Going against the agreement that you have.
Okay, so the issue here, for me, is couples not having open, honest discussions with each other of their
100%.
boundaries. So in a healthy relationship, you should be understanding of your boundaries, correct?
That's
Yeah,
so
so-
real.
Totally, I agree. So do you
Yeah.
have an agreement with your partner that you can have sex with other people, Mel?
Yes, we have an agreement that we do
Yeah.
not have sex with other people. However, consuming
hold-
porn together and
Hold on,
separately.
hold on. I got it. I just want to clarify.
Okay.
In your content creation, do you have sex with other people?
No.
Okay, I asked that a minute ago, and you said I thought I heard you say yes. So you don't.
No,
so you
no,
just
we
do,
have no.
You just do solo content or content
May
with him.
I ask
Solo
the host?
content and content together with my partner.
Got it. Okay.
May I
no
ask
other
the
people.
host?
Yeah.
Can
Me.
I ask the host? So you have never watched porn. When you jerk off, then what do you do? What do you think about?
Why are you assuming I've never watched porn?
No, I said have you?
Oh,
I said
yeah.
have you ever
I got.
watched porn? And if you've not,
Yeah, I got this job for a reason. I was addicted to porn for about 20 years, which escalated into physical cheating, which I blew up my marriage, and we put it back together again. We're still married to the same woman. So yeah, I know what pornography does.
blew
to
up
you.
your marriage. That's such
Yeah.
great words. Blew
Yeah.
it up in her face, I bet.
Blew it up. Blew it up. Yeah, it was real bad. Really
Sorry,
devastating for my
it
wife
was
too. But
there.
we're still married. Yeah. So Mel, so I would say if you have an agreement that it's okay for you guys to use other people for sexual gratification, then it's not cheating. I think you're right if that's the agreement. But
Okay, so the
if you have an
issue here
agreement
is
that
not
it's just
the-
monogamy, if it's just the two
Right.
of you,
Can I
then
make a point?
it would be cheating. Yeah, go ahead.
I completely understand where you're coming from. However, I don't think the issue here is porn. I think the issue is just being disrespectful to your partner and crossing boundaries. It can be in any sense in a relationship with anything. For example, let me talk about, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word, DRUGS. For example, you can have an agreement in a relationship that you're both okay with each other taking recreational
Best sex I've
DRUGS.
ever best sex I've ever had, by the way.
Great. Yeah, good point. But yeah, moving back to that, you can have an agreement that it's okay for you to do that recreationally, okay? And that is to do with respect between two people. You have an agreement on something, right? So if we're talking about porn specifically, it's to do with being respectful in a relationship. It doesn't necessarily mean porn is cheating. It means you are being disrespectful because you have broken an agreement. So for me, I think more couples just need to have open and honest discussions with each other about what is and what isn't okay. It's not down to porn
Yeah.
specifically, and I don't think porn should be demonized in the way that it is.
Well,
I
disagree
agree with
that,
you, Mel,
but
completely.
I agree the conversation should be had. If you and your partner want to watch porn, who am I to tell you shouldn't? Right? But what's the agreement?
Watch
You're
it.
exactly right.
They
You're
make
exactly
it.
right.
They
It
are
should,
the
it
stars
should be
of the show.
discussed. It should be
Nice.
talked about, right? So if you're, again, it just goes back to, one second.
But
If
your
you
but
agree-
your point is you think it's cheating, but now you're
No, I'll say it for
kind
a
of
third
saying
time.
that it's not,
No,
right?
no, I'll say it for a third
Backtracking
time.
now, you're in, Mel. And do you know why he's backtracking? Because
Okay.
you're in, Mel, because you're attractive. Isn't that funny?
Nope. Guys, I do this every
Every
night. I
time.
do this every night. Let me say the spiel. If you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another person and you've said something like, I love you, only you, mind, body, and soul till death do us part. If you deviate from that, whether it's with a person on a screen or otherwise, you're cheating. If you break
No,
the
it's
agreement,
not
you're
che-
cheating. If you break the agreement,
we-
you're cheating. If you don't
but
have an
we-
agreement, then you're not cheating.
Okay, so this comes down to marriage then. So you're saying then that
It comes down to an agreement.
marriage
It comes
because
down to an agreement.
okay,
So what's
it comes
the
down
agreement?
to an agreement. So the agreement is based around different topics. So you can have different agreements to do with cleaning on a
Exactly.
day-to-day basis, to do with how much time you spend together, to do with
Sure.
porn, which is the whole
Yeah,
topic. Okay,
exactly. So the
why are you
conversation should be had
specifically demonizing porn?
because it's
It's,
evil.
it's to do
Oh,
with
yeah.
respect.
Because
This is
it's
a good
evil.
one.
It is
Mandy
degrading
said-
to people. It degrades people.
Mandy
it degrades
said-
Who
women.
is it degrading? Because I don't feel degraded when I make porn.
Okay, fine.
I don't
Not
feel
gonna try to
degraded
change
at
your
all.
mind.
And there's many, and I know many content creators and ladies within the porn industry who absolutely love what they do.
Yeah.
So
You
I
go read the books and the personal
Andy
accounts by
said,
the
what-
people who
I
what
are
don't need to
removed
read a
from the
book. I
industry.
know these women in real
Yeah.
life, and I am one of these women.
Yeah,
I know
I got it.
hundreds of content creators.
I got it.
So
Just
Mandy
wait.
said, what if I watch the videos that I've made together when I'm alone? Is that still porn? Can you watch videos that you've made with your boyfriend alone? That's still porn, right?
That's still porn, yeah. Porn is erotic imagery.
How
Erotic
do you feel
imagery
about
usually
that?
depicting another organ or multiple organs of a person with the erotic intent to arouse. It's still porn. You're now just the porn star, so you're objectifying yourself. You wouldn't be cheating.
But okay.
I think that's
Okay, you're saying
normal.
I'm objectifying myself. My
Yes.
my job is to objectify myself, and I
Correct.
like being objectified. I like somebody looking at me in a sexual way. It empowers me, and I enjoy that. And I think we're in this society we're demonizing sex like it's sex without love is such a thing to look down on, a thing to be ashamed of.
Who's saying
like-
there's anything wrong with sex?
I'm
Here's a
not
question.
talking.
Here's
I'm
a
not.
question.
I'm not. Okay. All right. Let me
You-
rephrase that. Let me rephrase the word sex. Sorry. Let me rephrase that to masturbating. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with masturbating and demonizing a sexual desire and a sexual feeling that is natural.
Who said there's
just
anything wrong with
feels very
masturbating?
wrong to
Who
me.
said there's anything wrong with masturbating?
Okay. Do you masturbate? Can I ask?
I don't masturbate.
You don't masturbate.
No.
Okay. Have you ever masturbated?
Yes.
Okay, have you ever masturbated without porn?
Yes.
Did you wish you were watching porn whilst you masturbated without porn?
No.
I've struggled to believe that. I very much struggle to believe that. So,
Okay. You don't have to.
okay, so again, why are we demonizing something that is fun and enjoyable in life? Do you not think there's enough misery in this world to
What is wrong-
demonize
what is-
something that...
Hold on. Who said there's anything wrong with masturbating?
We're talking about porn here.
Well,
I
we
thought-
were.
I thought the
and
topic
then-
was porn.
And we were, and then you started talking about masturbating. So which is it?
We're talking about masturbating to porn. Okay?
Okay, but here's the thing: is
It's something that's fun and brings people temporary pleasure. Okay?
to medicate pain
do
in
you
their
agree
life.
with that?
I agree with that. It is a tool used that people run to medicate pain in their life, and it brings them into a
medicate
fantasy land,
pain.
and it makes the pain
Okay,
worse.
so in the moments that I am watching porn and I am getting off, I can tell you I'm definitely not in pain. I definitely don't feel any pain. I definitely don't feel any emotional pain.
Usually
It's
that's
to do
that's
with
once we're so
desire.
numbed to the pain, which is what's very common with pornography and the escalation of pornography use, is that you get so numb to the pain that you aren't even aware of it anymore.
Right, okay, and that's what you believe. You believe that the reason that I watch porn and ejaculate to porn is because I am in pain.
No, I'm making a general assertion. I'm not talking about you specifically. I don't
But
know you well enough to
that
decide
is
that.
your assumption. Where's your proof to back up the fact that I am in pain and that's the reason I'm watching porn, because I'm in pain?
Let me say it again. I'm not making this assertion about you. This is general about what the literature suggests about pornography addiction and pornography use. I don't know you well enough to know if that's why you use pornography.
Could you bring up some sort of study or research to back up that the reason that I watch porn is because I'm in pain, or the reason the
Yeah, I don't
majority of
think,
individuals watch porn is because they're in pain?
Austin, I don't think
Yes.
that's a
Go
strong
to.
enough argument.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to believe it. Go to fightthenewdrug.com. They have all the literature on this. Okay, plenty of books by Dr. Doug Weiss, by Dr. Trish Lay on the topic, betrayal expert, Michelle Mays on the topic. The porn myth by Matt Fradd will go into all of these. So you can go read the books if you want to, but it sounds like you don't want to. And
I don't
sometimes
need
I
to
sit
read
here
a
on
book.
TikTok and read the books to you. Yeah, of course you don't, because you already know everything.
I don't need to read a book because I don't feel the need to try and demonize something that brings me temporary pleasure that has no negative impact on my life. In fact, it has a very
Okay.
positive impact on my life. It makes my relationship extremely exciting, extremely fun, extremely open. We don't
So
feel like we have to hide things from each other. We don't feel like normal sexual desires are a bad thing. So it's very positive in my life.
Mel, who has said a normal sexual desire is a bad thing?
Normal sexual desires involving porn.
So
Sorry if I
your
wasn't
assertion is that
specific
it's a
enough.
normal sexual desire to masturbate while watching strangers have sex.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think you for example, you find lots of different women attractive in the world, correct?
I can acknowledge that there are a lot of beautiful people in this world. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Brilliant. And I'm sure that there's a number of beautiful people in the world that you've had sexual thoughts about, correct?
In the past, yes.
Okay. So,
Now there's one who I strive to have those thoughts for.
okay. So just because you yourself think that in your relationship, that's a boundary in your relationship, and you don't want to cross that, you can't generalize and say watching porn is cheating, because it depends upon the agreement between two people.
And we're right back to where we started when you started 12 minutes ago, Mel. I agree. It depends on the agreement in the relationship. If you agree that it's okay to use
Exactly.
other people for your sexual pleasure while you're in a relationship, then it's not cheating. If you don't agree to that, if you're striving to have a monogamous relationship where you're focusing your energy on one another and one another only, you're turning towards one another in a mutually giving way, then it would be cheating.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? What
Sure.
is your purpose of doing these lives?
To create conversation.
Okay, why are you so passionate about the topic of is porn cheating and pornography in general? Why are you so passionate about it?
Yeah, great question. Because I know firsthand, as well as working with hundreds of other men and women, how devastating pornography can be in relationships. And so I'm providing a place where people can come and have these open, honest conversations about what's really going on in their life. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. I feel like I've made some good points. Hopefully I've made a couple of people think about how exciting their relationship possibly could be if they had these discussions with their partner. And we're just honest to be. I think a lot of problems in relationships just come down to.
Mel, what do you think was the best point? What do you think was the best point you made here tonight? Go out with a bang.
I think I made a lot of good points, to be honest.
Yeah, what was the best one? What do you think your best one was? Just one.
I don't feel like I need to answer that.
Did you make any points though?
Okay,
I made
can
a lot
I
of good
say
points.
something real
Of course.
quick, Austin? So one of the ladies, I don't know which one, compared um, having an agreement, like if the couple wants to do rugs with the D, and compared that. Does anyone know? I want to meet the person that agrees with their partner. Oh yeah, you go ahead and you can do rugs. There is going to be a disaster in that relationship, period, because a lot comes with doing DR, the work.
Yeah.
And a lot comes with it. And the same with porn. A lot comes behind all of that. There's some healing the people that use it need to do. And
Not necessarily, no. It can.
Austin's done the healing.
Okay, okay. You can talk about DRUGS, but there is a lot of people in the world that have that use DRUGS. For example, we're talking about hallucinogenics, to be specific, from my own experience and
Yeah,
from people that I know.
microdosing. Are you talking about microdosing?
No, I'm not talking about microdosing at all. There's plenty of people that I know that not on a frequent basis, but every so often will dabble in DRUGS, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, and they have quite fulfilling lives. It can actually be quite eye-opening for some people, but I feel like I'm sort of moving away from the topic here. But my point is, as long as you're having open and honest conversations with your partner about what is and what isn't acceptable in your relationship, then there's nothing wrong with watching porn, as long as you have discussed it prior and it's okay. Porn is cheating.
Mel,
yes.
can I ask you how old you are?
If your partner says, no, I don't want you to do that, and then you go off and do it,
so we agree.
but then that's the same as doing anything
we agree.
in life. It doesn't mean porn is bad.
Yeah. Mel, how old are you?
I don't need to answer that question. It's got no relevance at all.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to. Yeah.
It really does not.
How long have you been?
It really does not.
Very young.
Mel, how long?
Not young.
Hey,
all,
she doesn't have to answer the question. No problem.
I know.
How long have you been a prostitute, Mel?
Relevant.
How long have I what? Sorry.
How long have you been a prostitute?
Crazy.
That's a crazy term to use, but
you
if you
said
want
you
to call me an
create
online
porn,
prostitute, yeah, that's fine. If you want to try and mock me by calling me a prostitute, okay, I'll call myself an online prostitute. I've been
I'm not
an
mocking
online
you. That's what you
prostitute
said you are.
By going to that extreme and calling me a prostitute, which is quite an extreme term to use.
Okay. I'm sorry.
There's
Are you not
many
a
other
prostitute?
terms that you can use.
Isn't that what you are?
An online prostitute, yeah, go on then. If you want to call me an online prostitute, let's call me an online prostitute.
Well, that's what you are.
I'm not gonna
I didn't mean to offend. I do this
I'm
every
not
night.
gonna have.
Okay, you're the first person that's been offended by that.
I'm offended because generally the idea of prostitution is doing something physical with somebody in person.
Do you sell your body for money? Do you sell your body?
I sell images and videos of my body, not my physical body.
If it wasn't for your
my
body,
understanding
if
of
it
the
wasn't
word
for your body,
prostitution
if it wasn't for
maybe
your
a
body,
little
would they
different to
sell?
yours.
It's still the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Well, sorry, what was your last question? If it wasn't for my body, what?
If it wasn't for your body being in the pictures or videos, would they sell?
Well, yeah, people buy pictures of my... So we're talking about my body. What do you mean? What else would I sell pictures of? That doesn't...
Blank piece of paper. Probably nothing, right? Nobody's going to buy a blank piece of paper just because you're selling it.
Right. Sorry. What's your point? You call me a prostitute, right? What was going to be your point after that?
I just asked, how long have you been a prostitute?
I've been an online. We'll call me an online prostitute because I don't want anyone to sort of get the wires crossed of what I do. I am putting myself out here on a live, so let's call it what it is.
You put yourself out there in way more vulnerable ways than you are right now, Mel.
Yes, I know, but right now I'm putting myself out here on a live, and I wouldn't want somebody to think that I physically go out on the streets and people physically touch me, because that's not the case. Okay, so please have some respect of that I wouldn't want people to think that of me. Okay. Because for me, it's a very different thing.
Got it.
A very different industry. Okay.
Right. So how long have you been an online prostitute?
8 years.
8 years. Got it.
Yes, 8 years.
On average,
And what was
most
the reason
women
you
get
asked me
into
that
it at about,
question?
well, because most women get into it at about 22, so you're probably roughly 30, give or take 2 or 3 years ish. Have you honestly read the literature on what former prostitutes and porn stars say, like when they're in their 50s and 60s? Like, have you gone down that path?
I have, yes. And to be
Okay.
honest, it's very mixed if you actually look into it. But for somebody that does what you do and you're trying to sort of demonize the porn industry, you are going to focus on the negatives. And there's actually a lot of people that say they really enjoyed what they do. They do it up into a very late age. I know some women in my industry that are actually sort of 60 years old, 50, 60 years old, that are still doing the job and they love it and they don't ever want to give it up. And it brings them a lot of financial freedom. It
Mel,
brings them a lot of pleasure in their own relationship.
Mel, I don't think I don't think Austin ever comes here and demonizes. He's here for support for those
I think to say
who,
that he isn't, I think to say that
excuse
he's not
me, you've been
demonizing sex is
talking for
wild.
like 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Can you
Mel,
calm it down up there? You got your plug in for prostitution. Now we're talking about what Austin is here for because you have not let him share that.
yes.
So I'm
He's
just
had plenty
saying,
of a chance to speak. I've just had a lot to say.
Mel,
clearly,
Mel, you just need
Yeah,
to calm down.
clearly.
Mel,
clearly, we are hearing you.
yeah. It's almost like you're playing the victim in this place.
Yeah,
I'm not playing a
nobody's trying to
victim in the
victimize you.
slightest.
You've not actually listened to
You're
what the topic
simply
says.
disrespecting me because
No,
I
no.
am
No,
because
when
I am
you,
Because you're
within the
such an
industry.
upstanding
no,
citizen.
the topic says
Mel,
it's part of cheating. That's the main topic, and you've been, saying something different. Like, just
and
listen.
within the
Yes,
first
I've
minute,
been
we
disagreeing because
clarified,
this is
Mel.
a debate.
Mel, we don't disagree. We agreed right at the beginning that if you have an agreement to use other people, it's not cheating. And you like 6 times you've gone back to that as though I'm disagreeing with you on it. I don't disagree. If the agreement is not commitment to one another, then porn is not cheating. So you're taking this all down towards is pornography good and ethical and all that, demonizing.
Yeah, because
You're
I
the
think
only
that's where
person
your
you
question
introduced the
stems from.
demonization of pornography. I
Because
didn't.
I think
We can
because
talk
because
about
I
that if
think
you want to.
because I
Okay.
think that's where your
In
question
fact,
stems
you know what?
from.
Where's my book? Dang it! Where's the porn myth? Go read. Well, never mind. You do whatever you want. All
Someone
right.
in the chat said I said what everybody wants to say but isn't saying it, which is what I'm famous for in life.
On the
Of
topic
course.
of what Austin is actually here for, please answer are blue balls real or not? I think many women want to know. We
Yeah, let's
have
get back to that
mixed
topic.
reviews.
Yeah.
Please, guys, you cannot leave me hanging. Like, I'm
Yeah.
a 21-year-old
Yeah,
woman. Like, I
Austin,
need
is
to know
that
the
real?
truth.
All right. Well, here I'll cite Dr. Doug Weiss on this. He's written all the books on porn and sex addiction. He, in his however many 25, 30 years, he said, and it depends on what do you mean by is blue balls real? Okay. Doug Weiss said there's 3 types of masturbators: those who masturbate with pornography, those who masturbate without pornography, and those who don't masturbate. And those do exist. The third category does exist. So there are people out there who don't masturbate and presumably don't have blue balls. All right. But let me just tell you, and this is not a science, I didn't research this. I just went into an incognito and Googled, are blue balls real? We're here to have fun, right? Blue balls is the achy feeling you might get in your scrotum. Why is that such a funny word? You might get when you get sexually aroused but don't have an orgasm. Doctors call it epididymal hypertension, though it's not considered a medical problem. While it can be uncomfortable, it doesn't last long and isn't harmful to your health. I'm not well studied on this. I want to be very clear on that. So don't take this as like an official answer. What I've heard, and this is when people are weaning themselves off of pornography, is that, yeah, it's very uncomfortable for the first couple weeks, but after that, it's fine. And then they don't even miss it. So.
Oh wait, I thought blue balls was
That's
when
wild. As a girl, like, blue balls are not real. Like, that's not something we experience. We can experience some type of like ache if, I guess, we have a sexual experience and we don't get off fully. Like, there is a semi ache for some women. And if that's what men feel, I don't know why they named it blue balls, because some ex-boyfriends have told me they're real, and my current boyfriend is like, no, like they were lying to you, babe. Like that's not real at all. So
Well,
I'm genuinely confused.
Yeah, so then there's the question on, is it psychological? Is it physical? Here's the analogy I like to use, because the question really stems from what I would say. You said you're 21 years old, Hall & Oates. Probably many men around your age group are like, I need to have sex all the time. I'm so hypersexual. And much of this comes from a history of pornography use. But here's the question. If you're at home alone and you got blue balls or whatever, and all you can think about is having to masturbate or have sex, what if you drop that person in the middle of Times Square with their mom?
Right.
I promise you the blue balls will go away like that. There will be no more desire to masturbate or have sex. So I'm not asserting that as a fact, but it's a thought
As a woman,
experiment.
I can agree. I just don't see why even men in the comment section are saying, yes, it's real after the analogy you just gave, and also I don't experience that. So
Yeah, but yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I interpret blue balls to be when you masturbate to the extent that you've literally overdo it and you can't ejaculate anymore. That's what I was thinking. What blue balls is.
Oh, no. That's more like PIED, porn-induced erectile dysfunction.
Okay.
So, yeah.
that's just like a recovery period for men that women don't experience, but that's a separate topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Max, I see you. I saw your appointment, and I do read my DMs. I'll get to them when I'm done here. All right, let's get a new panel up, huh?
Yep.
All right, thanks for chatting, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, Austin.
Oh, man. That other person just self-selected herself out of here. Great. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with unwanted sexual behavior such as pornography use, pornography addiction, sexual addiction, as well as for women dealing with betrayal trauma. If you are struggling with either one of those and you want help and support, go to link in my bio. You can schedule a call with me. It's $1 for a 30-minute call, private call. And then I also have groups and other resources on the link in my bio. Your life is too important. I'll make the assertion. Your life is too important to just be masturbating while watching strangers have sex and trying to convince everybody else that it's not a problem. Your life is also too important to be trying to get your partner to stop watching porn. There is more to live for than that. So, link in my bio if you are interested in my resources. We have a great community of people who are striving for better in their life to work on having a more healthy sexual ethic, we'll say. I've never said it that way before, but that sounded weird. Whatever. Make sure you post that clip and spread the message. All right. I'm a little behind on my posting, but... Amber Heard. Do I know you? I know someone named Amber Heard. Don't stare us down like that. In the famous words of Mel Robbins, let them. It's true. Just let them. I wish I could take the chapters from the porn myth and consolidate them down into like 2 paragraphs. I need to do that. Maybe that'll be my book. It'll be like 15 pages long. That's it. Less is more. I drink my morning coffee in the office and listen to this live with full volume. Let's go, Jesse Jerome. Where do you live, man? In the morning you're in the UK? Amber Heard, it's not working. Sorry, gotta drop you. Can you rename your lives, Austin? What would I rename them to, Billy Boy? Corbin, I'll get you in just a second, okay? 5:30 in the UK. ChatGPT has so many wrong answers. Can I start a poll on the topic? Yeah, go ahead, Krista. That'd be great. By the way, give me a follow if you don't follow me. If you like my content, right up here somewhere. If you don't like my content, follow me anyways and come back and argue with me sometime. Or in the chat. We love that. And honest to God, she's the first person who was offended by the prostitute word. Interesting to notice. But sometimes the truth hurts. Who did I say I'd let in? Corbin. I'm a waxer. I wax men and women and have been in this situation. Well, that's an interesting statement. We'll get you next. Hey there, what's going on?
Howdy, I'm hiding in the living room because my husband and kids are asleep.
Okay. All right. Well, why are you hiding?
Oh, just so I don't wake them up and my kids don't hear me talking about porn.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Tap the poll. Krista put a poll somewhere. So vote in the poll. Oh, there it is. What's the poll say? Is porn cheating? Vote in the poll. It's up there, little blue box. All right. So Corbin, what's up? Is porn cheating?
I think it's cheating as long as it's agreed upon that it's not to be done. I think that there are unhealthy relationships where, as long as it's agreed upon that you can do that, it's unhealthy and I think it's bad, but it's not cheating.
Got it. All right. What's your agreement with your husband?
So when we first got together, we both watched it and I didn't have a problem with it. I was never jealous about it. And then I slowly started to see the effect that it had on our sex life and our mentalities and the way that we viewed each other and objectification. And it just reading about it and learning about it and it affecting me personally in our sex life, it's completely changed my mind, like 180.
Mm-hmm. And did your husband get on board with that at the same time you did?
Yes, and not exactly the same time. No, it took some convincing and some hard conversations. But yeah, I think as far as I know, we had a couple hiccups and at a time I thought that he was on board and then he wasn't. And you know how that goes based off your experiences.
I'm very well versed in that. Yep.
I think that I trust that we're at a good space now. And I think that we've had some good conversations about it to make me feel that way.
Mm-hmm. Good. How long ago did you make that change or shift your belief about how you wanted pornography to not be in your relationship?
About a year and some change after I had my youngest child. It changed a lot.
Yeah, you're like, I'm sitting over here trying to take care of babies and my husband's masturbating to another woman in the other room?
Pretty much. Exactly that. And I think that kind of mentality and the whole 6 weeks of abstinence and all that, it really brought some hard topics to the surface.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. How much have you guys dove into your sexual stories or particularly with him and pornography use? Like, has he really explored that or worked on that? Or did he just stop?
We've definitely had conversations about like where it originated from. Exposure at a young age can lead you to constantly seeking out more extreme things, and the types of things that you're seeing has to constantly be elevated from the last thing you saw. So, we've talked in depth about it, but I don't know. I think I'm a lot more into the psychology of why people are addicted to it versus him is just like, oh, you want me to stop? I'll stop.
Got it. Yeah. All right. Do you really think he stopped?
Absolutely.
Okay. When's the last time you guys talked about it?
A few weeks ago, maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like you guys have done some educating on the topic, and I'd encourage you, keep that conversation open. Because even if I'll speak generally, but when people are like, yeah, I really want to stop, and they genuinely mean it, if they're not getting the right help and support and education to do it, it can be very tempting to go right back to it. Like when life gets tough, that's why we go to it. We're stressed, anxious, depressed. Something is not working in our life, so we got to go feel good for a minute in time and get a dopamine hit. And it works. It's very good at that. But it always leaves people emptier. Well, usually. Sorry, Mel may come back and argue with me. It usually leaves people emptier afterwards.
She was irritating. Okay, a lot of people are saying he didn't actually stop. He's just hiding it. He's doing a better job at hiding it. And I think that's funny. I think that people who don't have transparency and who aren't able to go to their partner and say, hey, I messed up, and can probably relate to that, but that's not how we operate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Good question. Who asked that? Krista. What did you say? Austin, what would old you have done if I came across my own live? That's a good question. Wow. What a great question, Krista. W for Krista. Old Austin probably would have watched. I would have watched this type of content and I would have sat there lurking. I never would have commented. I probably would have watched on a burner account to make sure nobody knew that I was watching a TikTok live on, how to not watch pornography. And I probably would have just sat in my shame and been stuck and not know what to do. And maybe, I would say maybe if I connected well enough with the guy on the screen, this guy, maybe I would have paid that $1 to make a call and see if something would change. I try to be the guy that I wish I had when I was going through this. Oh, the next Waxter, I got to get you. I try to be the guy that I wish I had. Like someone who's like a little tough love and will pursue, but also have compassion for the story that's beneath it. Because every man who watches pornography, beneath every man who watches pornography, there's a story that's dying to be told. A story about love and intimacy. Maybe it's neglect or abandonment. Maybe some sort of trauma. There's a story that's dying to be told. And we're too afraid to tell that story. We might not even know what the story is deep beneath. All right, Waxer.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hi. So I was so excited. My heart's beating. I'm like, I've been
Take
on
a
this
deep
for like
breath.
a
Take a
couple
deep
months.
breath. Everybody. Okay. All right. Let's
Cool.
go.
Hi. All
All
right,
right.
cool. So, okay, so my name's Serena. I live in California. I'm a esthetician and I've been waxing for 6 years. I've waxed men, I've waxed women. I've seen and heard so many perspectives on this topic alone, also having experienced it myself. My viewpoint on it, I definitely think communication is a big thing, but it can be something that can turn from being like okay to not okay. So I'm currently in a very complicated relationship, and a lot of it has to do with porn. When we first got together, we were very open on the topic. We would watch it together sometimes, just so like we can get tips, tricks, and pointers. We were kind of like really open on it. But I think the way that it changed is, there was one day I was at work and I was on Snapchat and my boyfriend accidentally posted that he was watching some porn on Snapchat from content creators. And he
Hold on.
posted it. Yeah. Yeah.
He accidentally was like, "Hey, everyone, I'm watching porn."
I think he was like interacting with one of those like content creator pages. It's like spam. So like if you click on it or interact with it, it'll accidentally post it for you.
So it like
Um,
reposted something and he didn't mean to?
yes.
Oh, man.
Yes. And he
That
saw
guy's
that I
brilliant.
saw it. And I
hmm
really tried to be calm. I was like, okay, like as long as he's not out there doing something, like we can have a conversation about this. I try to keep an open mind. I'm like, we've watched this before together. Um, and it did for a second kind of get me, thinking like, okay, like why does he ask me for stuff? Why does he feel like he has to resort to this? You know what I mean? Like, and when I got home, I do have a little bit of trouble kind of confronting. I do get afraid that men think that if we bring it up, like we're nagging, we're insecure. But in reality, I really do want to just understand, like, what am I not doing that made you feel like you have to look at this kind of stuff?
hmm
So it was briefly brought up, and a month or two later, um, we both were drinking. I got some shots of confidence, and I did very politely try to bring it up. And I was like, hey, like, some people consider this micro cheating. I'm like, I really don't care as long as like it's just me and you. What hurts more is if I feel not included. And actually, that conversation kind of snowballed, and we did end up breaking up for a bit. He kind of more shut down, I think, at the fact that he was kind of like caught on it and stuff. And I think that's when it becomes an issue. So fast forward a little bit. We're together again. There was a night I did try to initiate like having sex, and he said, "Oh, tomorrow, tomorrow." But in the thing is with when you catch that kind of shit, like when
Yeah.
it's like, you know, not like both of you guys watching it, it does make a woman insecure, and it does make us feel the need to go through their phone and check, okay, like what am I, is this more than just porn? You know what I mean? And that doesn't justify it. It's not right to go through your partner's phone.
Why?
But
Why?
I
Why? Is there an agreement to not look at each other's phones?
I guess we never talked about it. I know a lot of healthy couples do talk about it and are able to go through each other's phone, but I do think it's an invasion of privacy in some aspects. But I
Okay.
think when I saw that Snapchat situation, it did kind of, I went from being secure in our relationship to extremely insecure. You know, kind of going into like, okay, let me just look through his phone and see what I find. So after I got denied or rejected sex that night, I went to bed, and the next morning I checked his phone and he went to the restroom and was looking at porn. And I saw that and I was like, okay, like this sucks. Um, and like he rejected me so he can go to the restroom and watch it. And I mean, it made me feel a type of way. So I was okay with it at first. I think where it becomes a point where it's not okay is when you feel like you're excluded or you're picked or porn is picked over being with you, if that makes sense.
Got it. So are you
Um,
still with this person?
we're I live with him. Long story short, I got kicked out of my mom's house and he took me in. We're trying to work on things. I don't know how much longer it's gonna last, to be honest. I mean, my goal is to move out and be more independent. But like I said, it reaches a certain point. I feel like when you're excluding, you know, the person that you're with, and if it's done in secret and it's something that you get upset about, um, if your partner finds it, then I feel like then that feels like cheating to me. That's like micro cheating, like in a way.
Yo, I find it so interesting how people put the word micro in front of it. Like, does that make
What does that mean to
does
you?
it feel like less of a betrayal?
I feel like, yeah, because for me, like what will be most of a betrayal to me is like if he goes out and he's actually with somebody else and he's actually cheating with somebody else. Like I said, I
Got it. All
didn't
right. Well,
mind
let
him
me ask you this.
watching.
What
Yeah.
if he's soliciting images, nude images or videos of other women? How would that make you feel?
Like buying it like OnlyFans.
If he's soliciting nude images of other women or videos,
Like define soliciting for me. Like what do
re-
you mean?
requesting, asking for, seeking to obtain.
Yeah, I think for me, personally for me, I think that would hurt my feelings even more. Like hop
Okay,
onto a website.
but
Yeah.
that's what look. That's the technical term. When you click on a link on a website, you're requesting. You're
Okay.
requesting the image. You're asking for it. So
Mhm.
just languaging it different feels different, doesn't it? He's going and
Yeah.
requesting nude images and videos from other women.
Yeah, I think so. It hurts, especially with doing it behind your back. And the same he came up to me and he's like, "Oh, like there's like this person, like, you know, we should like request it together and watch and learn." Like I'd be like, "Okay, like you know what? I'm really chill. I'm really easygoing." Like the other day, he was at work. He was like, "Dude, this guy like I work with, he used to be a content creator. Did you want to look it up?" And I was like, sure." Like, and he's like, "I just want to know." And I was like, "Okay." Like I felt like included, so I felt like, all right, this isn't that much of a red flag to me. Like he was telling me about it. Like, and I wax too. So I tell him about every man I wax. I tell him about every woman I wax, like any questions he wants to know. Like with that part, like we're really open on, but when it's like behind your back, I feel like that's when it hurts your feelings and you feel like, okay, like you don't feel like
So
you're good enough.
why are you still living with him?
Just because I got kicked out of my house and he's the only person that was able to take me in, and I got a
How
second
old are you?
job. I'm 28.
Okay, and you were living with your parents, you said?
Yeah, I was living with my mom, had a falling
And
out, took
why did
me
you get
in.
kicked out?
Because my mom, she's very controlling and she has this, I'm 28, like if I go out, she's constantly asking who, what, when, where, and why. I tell her what I want, and it just got to a point where she started threatening that she thought I was with a specific friend to call the cops on her. She thought I was being human trafficked because I was never home. Like it just got really messy.
Got it. And he was the only option you had to go back to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Got it.
because I have my own business waxing, and I just got a second job waxing, and at the time it just wasn't enough income. I live in California. It's like not sustainable, like one income to get your own apartment. But since I um have my second job now, that's the goal, like saving money, paying off my debt, and then eventually moving out.
Got it.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to be different in your life?
I just want more security, like mentally, financially, um, all of that. Because I mean, this whole situation with him really has taken a toll on me. Like I said, when I first got with him, I was very secure, had no worries, nothing. And then after being with him, it did kind of feed into my brain all those insecurities, and it kind of does affect my personal life, the way I do things, work sometimes, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
There's a book I recommend for betrayed partners, usually women here. It's called The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays, and it may help you put a lot of language to what you're talking about right now, especially with attachment and your desire for security.
Yeah.
It's
What is
all
it
wrapped
called
up in
again?
this. The Betrayal Bind.
The
It's linked in my
Betrayal
bio
Bind.
on the resources page. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Wait, can I ask, like, because I kind of joined in a little later, what's your take on everything? Like, what made you start this live? Like,
hmm
what situation happened with you, and how do you think you've recovered from it?
Yeah. So, I believe if you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another person and you've said something like, I love you, only you, mind, body, and soul, till death do us part,
Hmm.
if you deviate from that, whether it's with a person on a screen or otherwise, or in person, you've gone against the agreement or commitment you've made and you're therefore cheating.
Okay,
So, what got me into this, I'm about to turn 40 years old. I've been married for coming up on 14 years. I started
nice.
watching
You don't look
porn.
40. You look
Oh, well,
young.
thank you. I look what,
You're
65?
welcome. That's still
um,
young. Just kidding.
I watched porn for about 20 years from I was about 12 until 32 years old. And my porn use
Okay.
also escalated into physical cheating while I was married. I'm still married to the same woman. After about a
Yeah,
year
that's
of
what
our
I was
marriage,
afraid of.
yeah,
Hmm.
which I decided to hold in and not tell anybody.
Hmm.
And that basically killed me. And so I confessed it to my wife. I never got caught. I had a squeaky clean record with both. My
Hmm.
wife never knew I watched pornography, never knew I cheated. And I went to her one
Okay.
day about 8 years ago and said, Hey, I got to tell you something. She's like, Oh, yeah, what's going on? And I was like, Oh, gosh. And I devastated her. I devastated everything we had. We had one kid, another one on the way, and blew up everything in our marriage. And it was terrible. But I got to that point because I realized I am a terrible person. I'm a total douchebag. My whole
Hmm.
life is oriented around feeling good right now,
Yeah.
whether it's with sex, well, drugs or alcohol were never a problem. Money, I had a sales job. I was making a ton of money, or what I thought was a ton of money at the time. And all I cared about was Austin. And I had a contemptuous attitude where I thought I was better than everybody else. And I've learned
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm no better or worse than anybody else. We're all just trying to figure this whole thing out called life.
for sure.
And so,
Would you have considered yourself a narcissist back when you were in that mentality?
oh, for sure. For sure. I struggle with the narcissist word because if you look up the definition of narcissism, we all have
Hmm.
that to a degree, right? So, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's selfishness, right? That's what narcissism is, just
Yeah.
extreme selfishness. So, yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah,
again, who can honestly say they don't have narcissistic tendencies at points in their life, right?
for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
I do have a question. So let's
Yeah.
say, okay, going back to your mentality back then versus your mentality now, right? Let's say your wife, I know you said you told her, right? I also kind of am interested to know what your turning point was that led to telling her. But back then, let's say if she caught you,
hmm
how would you have reacted back then versus now?
She wouldn't have caught me.
Oh,
I could teach a
and
master class on how to not get caught with pornography or affairs.
okay, because I mean, the only way I
I
caught
like
it,
I'm
yeah,
half joking because that's a arrogant
yeah,
narcissistic thing to say, but I never got
yeah, I
caught, right?
understand.
Yeah,
And
but
I think I oh, sorry,
how would I have
continue.
reacted back then? Just like all the guys I
Mhm.
work with, I would have started by saying, "Oh no, that's not mine. I wasn't watching that porn. No, I didn't have that affair. She's lying." I would have done all the gaslighting, and just tried to
Mm-hmm.
argue louder than she was able to put up with. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not
Where,
productive. It's a lack of integrity.
yeah, for sure. I did see someone in the comments say, because this is something that I kind of caught on to also. How long did it take for like someone to be in the bathroom for you to grow suspicion? So my boyfriend would be in the bathroom anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, and that's when my suspicion grew. And then when he would fall asleep, that's when I would go through his phone, and that's when I would see, what he was doing. And the only reason why I found it, there was nothing on Snapchat, there was no text, there was nothing on Safari browser. He had a special separate browser to look at all this stuff. So is that something that you did, or what's your
It's
take on that?
brilliant. Yeah, if you want to hide it, you got it. You got to use incognito, of course.
Yeah.
The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays. Yeah, but look, I don't want to give people ideas, though they don't need the ideas. If they want to watch porn, they're going to find a way.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the goal is not to stop watching porn. The goal is to figure out what got you to that point in the first place. Why are
Yeah.
you watching
What was
pornography?
your point?
What's the actual desire in your heart, right? So for me, right, I started when I was about 12 years old. There's a whole story there, and as you unpack the story, it kind of makes sense, right? So I would have gone to my grave saying this phrase, which is when I really confronted the trauma in my life. I lost my mom when I was 5 years old. She was a pilot. She died in a plane crash. And I literally
Yeah.
used to say, my mom died when I was 5 and it hasn't affected me. And I uttered these bullshit words in a couples therapy thing. This is right before I confessed. I said, my mom died when I was 5 and it hasn't affected me. And the person said, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
And I look at my 8-month pregnant wife who's pregnant with our daughter, about to bring a woman into this world. And over the course of this weekend, essentially doing deep therapy work, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not about porn. This has nothing to do with porn. There's a
Yeah.
void in my heart. I'm just trying to figure out, does anybody love me? What really happened on that day when I lost my mom?
Yeah.
And now the acting out in pornography, searching for love, it's not because I wanted to have the next best orgasm. It's never about that. It's trying to answer the question, does anybody love me? Every man who knocks on the door of a brothel is actually searching for love. Every man who
But what
knocks on the
happens
door of
when
a
they have
brothel is
it,
actually searching for love.
for sure? But what happens when they have it in front of them and they're still doing it? Does that mean they not love the person that they're with?
Here's how I would answer that is, you can only let in as much love as you know how to express.
Okay.
Right? So you could have the most loving person right in front of you, and you wouldn't even be able to create an intimate, loving connection with them sexually or otherwise if you tried.
I'm gonna
Because, well, sorry, but you're welcome.
cry. I know.
It's
I
the
know.
strawberry analogy, which I share all the time here. Imagine
Yeah.
that you eat a nice, plump, red, delicious, juicy strawberry on a hot summer day like I did today. It's not summer, but I live in Phoenix, so it was hot. I had a strawberry
Okay.
today. It was delicious. It was so good. It hit all the taste buds. I digested it. Man, that was a good strawberry. Now imagine that you eat 5 Snickers bars, and then you eat the strawberry. The strawberry tastes like shit. Why? Because Snickers bars aren't real food. It is fake. It is synthetic. It is Fantasyland food.
Yeah.
And it tastes so good. It's so sweet. It makes your mouth light up in all these ways that it is not intended to do. It's like a supernatural stimulus. So that when you have the real thing, the strawberry, you don't even, you're like, this is
Desire
gross.
it.
Yeah.
You push it to the side.
Yeah. So pornography is the Snickers bar. Actual intimacy is the strawberry. So back to your question, you might have the most beautiful, loving person who wants to deeply connect, but just like me, I had no idea how to connect with my wife. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's not because there was anything wrong with me. It's because I had deep pain and trauma that I had been avoiding my whole life.
Yeah.
And I thought, and again, this is why people, I'm just so sexual. I have a high libido. No, you don't. You're eroticizing your desires. Everybody just wants to be seen, known, and loved for who they are. And pornography, it just perverts that.
Yeah, it puts
It's
like a cloud over all of
Yeah.
it, distorts your mentality.
It
Do you
feels
think
good.
that
It feels good for a second, but it leaves you wanting
it
more
does?
and more. And it's just like Snickers bars. You can never eat enough Snickers bars to feel full. You'll throw
Yeah,
up
for
and then
sure.
you'll go back to it the next day.
Yeah, I mean, with any sort of addiction, whether it's, like substances, alcohol, he also has an alcohol addiction, so that's a whole situation right there too. But do you think that people who have a porn addiction, because like you said, it was from a traumatic experience when you were younger, do you think all people who have this addiction usually undergo some form of trauma? Or what do you think is a similar pattern for all men or women who have this addiction?
Yeah. So, well, if you use a psychological word, it's called a maladaptive coping strategy. That
Okay.
pornography is a maladaptive coping strategy, or differently put, it's a bad way to deal with life to use pornography. Same with drugs, same with alcohol. Pick your poison, right? It's just not a good, resourceful way to deal with life. Now, porn and sex is a little bit different because usually, especially in this day and age, young boys are exposed to pornography by the age of 13. Like 90 some
Yes.
percent of boys are exposed to pornography by the age of 13.
Definitely like junior high era. I remember this very vividly when I was in middle school.
For sure. Yeah. So,
Yes.
now think about it, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, you're seeing pornography and there is something arousing about it, right? Our bodies we're sexual beings, right? So there's
Hmm.
something arousing to it on one hand. And usually on the other hand, it's like, there's something that is so wrong about this. I shouldn't be looking at this. What is this?
Yeah.
Right. I've
Hmm.
only had a couple people on my lives who have honestly said that they think that we should give children pornography, like 10, 11, 12, 13
Oh,
years old. I don't get that, but
to
it's
just
like,
like expose them so
well,
it's not like in their mind, or what do you
well, no,
mean?
no, no. It's like they have to maintain this intellectual consistency with their argument. So then I'll ask them the question, like, should we give pornographies to 11-year-olds? And they're like, yeah, of course. But I don't know what they really think about it. Anyways, we shouldn't
Yeah.
be giving kids pornography. That's my assertion.
No.
Right. And so,
Yeah.
why should we give adults pornography? Like, it's
Yeah.
not that hard. Private parts, there's a book I read on here sometimes, and it says, these are private parts. Private parts should be kept private. Yeah, it's not that hard. They're private for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? They're intended to, in my opinion, my orientation, to be enjoyed in the context of a committed relationship.
Yeah.
So
I feel like for me, oh, sorry, continue.
pornography is distorting that.
Yeah. I feel like for me, like in the beginning, because I'm no angel, like I've definitely, like I said, I used to watch it with him. There's been moments where I would watch it by myself, but for me personally, it was more like to learn tips and tricks. Like, okay, what does someone else do that I can do for my partner to enhance an experience? I knew nothing about it. Like when I was getting into the game, I was actually like a late bloomer. I didn't lose my virginity until I was like 18. Um, and I had questions. I wasn't sure what was what. So that's the reason why I would look into it, but it's never been an addiction for me. That's the only reason why I'll pull it up is to learn a couple of things. And the only reason why I agreed to watch it with him was I was like, okay, like, let's see what he likes to watch, what he's into. Like, what can I do to be a better partner? But I don't know if that's like okay. Like, is that something that you think is okay for women to do or justify or like be okay with just to satisfy their partner and their needs?
I need you to say that one more time because this person said it as well. 18 is not a late bloomer, and I Googled it. Average is 17.
Okay, gotcha. No, I just said like
17.3 years. Average for a
17.3.
woman. For a woman.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. No, I just said that for me personally, when, I started watching porn, it was only for the sole purpose of educating myself on, things to do for myself, for my partner. Do you think it's okay, for a woman? Because with me and him, I only agreed to watch it with him because I'm like, okay, let me see what he's into. Let's see if we can learn stuff together. Like, do you think that's okay?
Well, I would just make the assertion you're not educating on what to do for you or what to do for him. You're
Hmm.
educating what the porn industry wants you to do to keep you addicted, to keep you stuck in it.
Okay. Because I know I'm not addicted. I'll only pull it up if I'm like, okay, let me just,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't know
fair,
what
fair.
happened. Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
doing
You
what
know
the
what I mean?
porn industry wants you to do to keep you
Hmm.
stuck in it, right? I
Yeah,
mean, look,
I guess, yeah.
like the food pyramid, we created that to educate people on what they should be eating. Yeah, I'm not an expert on this, by the way, but you might have heard it. It's like now we know, like the food
Yeah.
pyramid. It's like if you want to have a bad diet, follow the food pyramid,
Yeah.
right? Why did we have the
Yeah.
food pyramid? Because like farmers needed to sell more potatoes and wheat or something like that,
Yeah.
right? So I would just say it's not helping you. It's actually, again, it's giving you more Snickers bars
Yeah.
disguised like it's actually love, but it's getting you further away from true love in my
Yeah. I
orientation.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Like I
So
said,
here's
the
the
moment,
question, right?
yeah.
You're
Mhm.
all up in this whole porn conversation, fine. But what are you really wanting?
More intimacy, more romance. I would wish that he would put that away and focus more on the relationship he has with me because it has been damaged because of the situation. We broke up because of this
Yeah,
situation.
so you
I
want
did
true
try and be,
intimacy and love and connection.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And he wants porn.
Yeah.
So it's not going to work.
Yeah. I know. I've had this conversation with myself. I mean, it's not worth the emotional turmoil because every time he goes to the bathroom, I'm anxious. I'm like, oh my God, he's doing it right now. Like when I leave the house, oh my God, like he's probably gonna watch it while I'm gone. Like it really mentally messes with you. And it can be reversed. The man with a woman or woman with a man, you know what I mean? So like I understand and I agree
Yeah.
completely. But I
Yeah.
mean, what do you think is the best way to approach this conversation so somebody who is more, has more narcissistic tendencies so they don't become avoidant, so they don't shut down. Because every time I have tried to approach it, that's just what I get. I get shut down, I get broken up with. Like I'm trying to have a level-headed conversation. I'm not trying to nag. I'm trying to just understand. So how do you feel like what is the best way to approach this person? Or do you just dip? Like do you just leave?
Well,
Because I want this to work. I love him.
do you love him, or do
Yeah.
you love the idea of what the relationship could be like if only he was different in the ways you're wanting him to be different?
I mean, I guess both, but I mean, we're best friends. Other than this whole side situation, like he is someone I fully confide into. We get along so well. We have so many amazing memories aside from this whole scenario.
Aside from the fact that he can't stop masturbating while watching other women have sex.
Yeah.
So what do you deserve? What do you deserve in a partner? Do you deserve a partner who's fooling around with other women online or in person? Or do you deserve
Yeah.
somebody who's striving to put you first in the relationship and protect the relationship?
Obviously the second. I don't know, it's just definitely the
All right.
second.
So the second.
But
So the second. So
yeah.
the question to ask
Mhm.
yourself is, are your actions congruent with you viewing your worth that way?
Probably not.
Okay.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Okay. Why?
I just feel just because like I tolerate it. Every time I've tried approaching it. Like I said, I try to be the cool girl, be chill, like, hey, I don't care that you watch it, just include me. Like I try to what's the word? Like put down my
You're
boundaries
gaslighting
or
yourself. You're
yeah.
lowering your bar. You're accepting something that you actually don't want. And
Yeah.
what you're getting is you get the comfort of avoiding the really uncomfortable conversation that you know needs to be had.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
you get to you know where you're at right now. So by you going and stirring the pot, that would be wildly different and uncomfortable, and it's unknown what might be on the other side of that.
Yeah.
But the question is how long will you keep living this way for?
Not for long. Like I said, once I am on my 2 feet and move out, I think I'm gonna have so much more clarity. That's like my biggest goal this year. Just get out because I'm in this space currently where all this pain and hurt has been caused. So I think once I remove myself, I'll have more of a level head. Um, 100%. It's just I'm kind of currently stuck in the situation. I can't afford to be on my own. He's the only person that took me in. You know what I mean? But I'm making better money, paying off my debt, and I really do think by this year, maybe middle of this year, end of this year, I can be more independent. So I am trying to change. I've been in this for 4 years with him. Like it's been a long time and it's been the messiest situation and it's not worth the emotional damage. I will always care about him and love him, but it's not worth it. I can't be on the edge of my seat if he's not going to change. I don't want to be here anymore wondering when he's in the restroom for like 30 minutes or an hour, like, is he watching it? Like, what's he doing when I'm not here? Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
really messed with me. So I
Yeah.
do want to get out.
Yeah. Well, that's tough.
Well,
That's
yeah,
tough.
yeah. I just think I wanted to know how to approach it without being shut down. But I think he's
Without
just
being
not going to
what?
change. Like shut down, like
Well, you
shuts me
might be.
down, or
I mean, look,
yeah,
what I would say is you actually, like, what's better is honesty. If he wants his porn, great. Let's just know that. Like, bro, if you just want porn, fine, say that. Now you can make a different decision,
yeah,
right? And
hmm
look, it's going to be a risky conversation no matter how you slice it, right? But to go
yeah,
have this conversation is really difficult. But
yeah,
will you do it anyways? And again, I'm not saying there's no hope for the relationship. I don't know what the answer is for you, right? I
yeah,
mean, I work with a lot of people, a lot of men where like they change their mind, they come around, and in a process they can get there, right? Relationship. It takes one
hmm
person to really a relationship. It takes two to put it back
hmm
together, right? But you got
yeah.
to know, like, are you guys both on the same page? Are you even in the same book? Are we on the
I think
monogamy
I'm the
book?
only one trying to work on it. Yeah, I think
Okay,
I'm the only one. Yeah,
yeah, then that's going to be real tough. But
yeah.
again,
I understand that. Yeah.
like, what's the path here? Do we need counseling? Do we need, to read some books together? I don't know. But the other thing is, the skill here to be learned is to have the hard, uncomfortable conversations. I promise you,
Yeah.
there will be another opportunity in your life where you have a relationship where a hard conversation needs to be had.
Yeah. I've tried having those conversations, and with someone like him, it's so difficult because, like I said, like I get shut down, I get gaslit, like, and I mean, now I know like it's just not the right person for me. Like we're
Yeah,
good friends. I just think we're not good partners because he doesn't respect those boundaries. I've tried, um, being level-headed with him. I've tried like coming to some sort of like mutual agreement. Let's do this together, but it's just I don't think it's working. So, but what do
yeah,
you think was your turning point? Like, what do you think makes a man change or realize, okay, this isn't cool anymore?
yeah. Well, I'll answer that. I'm going to move on. I just realized we've been talking for 30 minutes.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
It's, I mean, one, it's a massive integrity issue. Most men
Hmm.
who, most men who watch pornography and cheat, they actually, good night, Krista, they actually don't want to be doing it. They just don't see a path out because they're so covered in shame, and it
Hmm.
feels like death to admit it.
Yeah.
All right. And so I decided that my life was too important to just waste away hiding, pretending to be
Hmm.
somebody who I was not, pretending to be this guy who's like a great guy, but deep down inside, I'm just like a contemptuous asshole. And
Hmm.
now if I look back, if you go survey all the people who knew me 10 years ago, they'd be like, oh, that guy was an asshole. And he
Hmm.
probably still is if they don't know the new me, right? So it's like, well, this is not a great way to live life. My whole life was oriented around making money to impress people who I didn't like so I could buy a bunch of shit and then throw it away a few months later. Well,
Yeah.
that sucks. Well, how about my wife and kids right here?
Yeah.
Well, what if I just tried loving them? But again, it come down to I didn't value myself. I didn't think that I was worth tapping into my own love story. Why is it that I can't let love in?
Yeah.
Again, numbing the pain of the trauma I experienced when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it's this is not about porn. Porn and sex addiction is not a porn and sex problem. It's a how you deal with
Hmm.
life problem.
For sure.
Why do you
Well,
have
thank you.
500,000 followers? What kind of content do you create?
I blew it back in 2020 for creating waxing content. I used to work at Sephora. Um, I made videos on clients at Sephora, clients when I wax. I mean, I've talked to so many people in my life who have such different viewpoints on this whole situation. I think some people connected with me on that, got a lot of followers from that. I loved creating content, but TikTok changed a little bit, so I'm not as hyped up anymore. But I still love the app, and I
Yeah,
still have a lot of clientele that come to see me because of TikTok. And yeah,
got it. Cool. All right. Well, nice chatting with you.
thank you. I appreciate your time, and thanks
All right.
everybody for the comments.
All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, you too.
See, we just had to change gears there, guys. This live got started. It was crazy for the first hour or so. We needed to drop into a different conversation. Been married to a porn addict for 13 years. Luke, get me in. Okay, Luke. Are we going to argue? He's been in recovery for 4 months now. Happiest you've ever been. Great. Good night, Moxie67. Luke wants to fight. All right, I got to go use the banyo real quick. My husband spent $600 on Fansly and told me they were fake charges. Man, I'd love to unpack that one. I'll be right back. All right. Luke, you ready, bro? He didn't even request. $900 phone bills. Luke, you didn't request, bro. Where you at? He's locking in, folks. He's locking in. Give me 2 minutes. Okay, we'll wait, Luke. Yeah, no problem. We'll all just sit here and wait. Who's this person? Period. Cat face? Not working. Hello. Hello, Christy. Christy Cochran. That was me. Hello. Did you fall asleep, Christy? Hello? Christy! Christy, wake up! All right, Luke, we bought you some time. There he is. What's up, man?
Hello. Oh, it's good, man.
Not much. How you doing?
I'm chilling. So, yeah, basically, I don't think it is cheating. So, I don't know. I feel like people look too far into it, and I don't know. I just don't think it's cheating.
Got it. All right. How old are you?
26.
26. All right. Do you watch pornography?
I mean, yeah, I've been watching since I was a teenager. I mean, I'm single now. Obviously not for that reason, but
Why is that
I
obvious?
did used to.
Why is that obvious?
Well, I don't know. It just weren't for that reason. But I did used to watch it when I was with my missus, but it wasn't like all the time.
How often was it?
I can't really remember, to be honest. I'd probably say like I don't know, twice a week.
Twice a week. Got it. How often do you watch it now?
Well, no, I'm single. I don't know. Not every night, but most nights.
Okay. So most nights. So almost every night. All right. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, why do you watch porn?
I think, I don't know, it just helps me get to sleep better.
Oh, you use
Honestly,
it as a
it
sleep
does,
aid.
like,
Got it.
sometimes I struggle to get to sleep, and I know if I've done that, then I'll just get down better. Or if I'm stressing too much, I don't know, it just helps.
Got it. So you use it as a sleep aid and a stress reliever.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Got it. So in order to go to sleep and in order to relieve stress, you masturbate while watching strangers have sex.
If I've got a lot on my mind, like if I'm stressing a lot about all different things, then I'll do that. But it's not got to be strangers. It could just be, I don't know, not someone I know, but just I don't know, whatever I'm into, innit?
Well, okay, if it's not strangers on the internet, who is it?
Okay, bro, that's a bit too personal, but
What, like your friends on Instagram or something?
nah, I'm not saying too much. But yeah, go on then. I suppose you could say strangers.
Okay, strangers. Got it. All right. Do you think you're addicted?
I don't know about addicted, but like I suppose when I don't really look into the subject that deep, but I suppose when you highlight it, I suppose you could say I'm addicted, yeah.
Okay. Got it. So would you say you're addicted?
I wouldn't say I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm addicted, but like I do watch it like at least once every 2 days. I'd say. I don't think that's addicted. Like when I was a teenager, I used to watch that like 5 times a day. Like when I'd be off school, I'd be in bed like, all day just going at it. But I wouldn't say I'm addicted now.
That's a very interesting sentence. I used to just be there all day, 5 times a day, all day going at it, but I wouldn't say I was addicted.
Yeah, but that's when I was a teenager.
Have you ever had an alcoholic acknowledge they're an alcoholic before they're aware they're an alcoholic?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I used to watch that when I was a teenager, like all the time. Obviously, I don't watch it nowhere near it now as much.
Got it. All right. Well, I'm not going to try to decide whether you're addicted or not. I will share a story, though. I talked to this guy really early on when I started doing this. He scheduled a call with me. By the way, I'm a coach. You can schedule a call with me if you want to chat. And frequently I'll
Cheers,
ask, well, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the other people. But if you want to schedule a call, I'd be happy to. I sometimes I'll ask about other addictions or other substances that they're using just so I kind of know where they're coming from. And I asked this guy, so do you drink at all? He's like, yeah, okay. And how much do you drink? He's like, oh, a few times a week. Okay, got it. A few times a week. How many beers do you have? How many drinks do you have per day? And he said about 15 to 18. I was like, every day? He's like, every day. I go, okay. And this is when you get home from about 7 to 11 p.m. Okay, got it. 15 to 18 beers in a 3-4 hour span every day. I said, do you think you're an alcoholic? He goes, no. Got it. Okay. We'll just say the end of the call, I got this guy to go to an AA meeting. Okay, so when I say if I'm not the right person for you, I'll point you to other resources. This is a great example of that. I'm like, bro, you need AA, like bad. I'll help you with the porn. He got involved in my groups as well, but it sounds like an addiction.
Would you say?
Anyways.
Would you say though? Would you say that say if he was drinking whatever you said 15, 18, and then like a couple years later he's only having like 2 or 3, would you still say he's an addict?
I would say great job on the progress. How is alcohol continuing to serve you or not serve you?
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. So you watch porn. You're saying like at least every other day, but it sounds like it's almost every day. Is that fair?
I'd probably say, if you want me to be accurate, probably like 3 or 4 times a week. So
okay, 3 or 4 times a week. All right, got it. How were you first exposed to pornography?
So in the UK, there's these like 900 channels, and when I was a kid, at like past 10 o'clock, the women would get their shirts off, and obviously, I don't know, like I that was exciting when I was only like, I don't know, 11 or 12 years old, so
Got it.
that was like, oh, that's cool.
And what about like hardcore pornography? When did you see that?
What do you mean by hardcore?
Like more
like
than just
vanilla
people
porn?
without their shirts on.
Oh, right. Probably like when I was like 12, 13.
Got it. Okay. What impact do you think that had on your young developing brain?
That whole vanilla stuff, like that, I don't know, I think that was all right, but it's when you start watching like the more hardcore categories, I feel like that's when it intoxicates your brain. I don't feel like the vanilla stuff's actually like too bad.
Got it. Okay. All right. So do you think porn is cheating?
No, I've already, okay, that's the first thing I said. No, I don't think it is cheating.
Okay. So if you're in a relationship with another person, do you think it's fine to masturbate while watching other women have sex?
When you pull it like that, it does sound a bit crazy, but like I think it is one of them. If you want me to be serious, like I think it is one of them things where you've got to have that chat with your partner, and I don't feel like it should be like such a huge like disclosed topic. Like I don't know, like myself, I'm very like open, and like I don't feel like it's that big of a deal. Like I don't feel like people should be stressing about it as much.
Got it. How would you feel if your partner was fantasizing over other men's eggplants?
What do you mean by? Oh, okay. I don't. Yeah, but they're not actually fantasizing about that. I feel like I don't know, like when I watch that, I'm like more delved into like what's going on. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like thinking, oh, I need a bit of that. I need her. Like you know what I mean? Like so obviously I don't know how other people think, but like, I'm
So
not thinking, I need to cheat on my missus. But I'm obviously not thinking I don't need to cheat on my missus and I need some of that. I need that now. Like I'm not thinking that. So I couldn't imagine that one of my exes would be thinking like that.
Got it. So what do you think when you're watching the porn of other people and masturbating?
Just like I don't know. Like obviously, like if they've got a nice body and like how they're acting, like it's nice. But I'm not thinking like, oh, I need to fucking go and wipe that off. Like, do you know what I mean?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, like Courtney says. Courtney's real in the chat. She knows. Everyone else is just like gaslighting it. Like, I just don't feel like it's that big of a deal. I feel like people just need to chill out. Like, you know what I mean?
Do you think it would be honoring to your partner to masturbate while watching other people have sex?
What do you mean honoring? What does that mean?
What does honoring mean?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. How do you define honoring? Regarding with respect or to fulfill or keep an agreement? Do you think it's the best thing for your partner?
No, but obviously if she wanted to do that, then it's cool. Like, I'm not going to be stressing about it because obviously she's with me at the end of the day. She's laying in my bed. That's just a video. That's not reality.
Got it.
But I do feel like it does. I do feel like it isn't. I wouldn't say it's cheating, but I wouldn't say it's healthy in a relationship. How about that?
Okay. How would you feel if you walked in on your dad masturbating to porn that wasn't your mom?
I have done, mate. Plenty
You
of
have
times.
done that? How'd that go over?
Yeah.
Plenty of times. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh?
Nah, probably like twice, and it's been like, oh shit. But nah, obviously, like, that's my dad. I don't want to see that.
Why? What is it? What's like the deeper thing going on there? I get it, right?
Because that's like a private. That's like a private thing. Like I don't. You know what I mean? Like if I'm walking on my missus doing that, I don't care. Like I'm joining him. But like when that's your father, that's a bit different. That's like private. You know what I mean?
Got it. All right. How do you think your mom would feel if she walked in on him masturbating while watching strangers have sex?
Well, obviously they're not together anymore. They split when I was 4, but I'd imagine she'd feel the same as I'd feel. Like, yo, I need some of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need that.
Got it. All right, man. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no worries, man.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. Why do I have a cough? This is so annoying. Slug is back. 3 nights in a row.
I just missed him.
Who? Your boyfriend?
My brother. Yeah.
Oh,
he
your brother?
Was here, my older brother. Yeah.
Get him in here. Did you bring
just
him in the
left.
conversation?
Yeah, we were talking to him about it, and he only just left my house.
Well, what does he think?
He said his argument was that if you decide to do it together, then it's fine.
Got it.
And I disputed that. And my mother disputed that. Yes, she was
Good.
sitting
Way
there
to go,
disputing
Mom. Let's go. Is she still thinking about this?
that. Yes, she's the one who brought it up to my brother.
Man, her head is spinning. I love that.
It's not very often someone can change my opinion.
There you go.
Yeah, but no, thinking about it, I was just trying to explain it to my son because he's married and I don't want him doing dumb stuff. And I feel as a mother, like when we had the discussion the other day, you were correct. Like, I've lowered the standard for my children and I don't want to do that.
Good for you. Way to go, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put her back on now because
All
I
right,
got to go
sounds
do
good.
mum things.
All right. Nice chatting
Not
with you.
gaming either.
Not gaming.
You're not going to play Halo tonight? All right.
No, not
Is that all,
today.
Slug?
My team's not around today.
No, it's Ark today.
Nice. All right. Well, good hearing from you again.
I'm doing groceries, thank you.
All right, go away, mother.
Did you want to talk still, Slug, or are you good?
I mean, it's up to you. I mean,
Well, that's fine.
I don't really have anything new to.
All right. Well,
to
let's
say.
get your brother on here sometime. Dang it! I wish I would have brought you on earlier.
Oh, he
Yeah,
waited
he was sitting there waiting, but you were talking to the other person, and he had stuff to do. His wife is pregnant, so he had
Ooh,
to get
they better
home
talk
and
about this.
help
A
her
lot
out.
of guys, they just watch so much porn when they're masturbating or when their wives are pregnant. Now's the time.
Yeah,
Have this
well, I
conversation.
She made it perfectly clear with him that she did not like it when she found out that he was on OnlyFans. So
Yeah. Good.
so I don't.
All right.
think
Well, we'll
he's-
talk to him eventually.
Yeah, eventually, one day.
All right. Sounds good. Nice chatting with you guys.
Nice chatting
Bye-bye.
with you too.
The most dangerous time for a woman statistically is when she's pregnant. For what? For pornography or what? All right, I'm going to bed. Great being with y'all. W's in the chat for all of our guests. Thank you, guests. I'm a coach. If you have been struggling with pornography or other unwanted sexual behavior, maybe I could help you. There's a link in my bio. I have resources such as groups for men, as well as one-on-one coaching that I offer. And I also have a betrayal group for women to work through partner betrayal trauma if you're interested in working through that and healing through your partner betrayal trauma. We're also doing an intimacy workshop, an intimacy building workshop on May 3rd. That is great if you want to build intimacy in your relationship. And I'm not talking about sexual intimacy, though sex is part of intimacy. I'm talking about intimacy in the truer sense of the word, to get to know one another better. So there's info on that in my bio. And yes, there is a Cash App link in the chat if you want to support me. I'm sorry, in my bio if you want to support me. I would be very grateful of that. Have I written a book myself, Austin? No. Maybe someday. I think I should. So much work, though. Run it up. Run up the Cash App. The W's is for just saying thank you for our guests. We're not agreeing or disagreeing. We're just saying thank you to our guests. Run up that Cash App. That's right. Eating better. Yeah, I've been working out. I went to Mexico for December break, and we'll just say I came back 15 pounds lighter. It really jump-started the year. Thank you. Mexico is not debauchery. It's family trip. Oh yeah, watermelons. It was special. Look, where I go in Mexico, there's not taco trucks. Okay. Yeah, Montezuma's Revenge. There was all sorts of stuff. But anyways, yeah, been lifting the weights, Hello, bud. With the topic, this is a good topic. Best one ever that don't cause arguments. I don't get it. I'll remind you each time I'm here, you would do great writing book. Thanks. I'm really beginning to organize my thoughts and how to articulate stuff differently. But yeah, how do you battle the it's only emotional cheating argument? Why battle it? Just say, why are you cheating? What's the fight? It's only emotional cheating. How about you just say, you remove the words only and emotional and just say, it's cheating. It's cheating. It's like the whole micro cheating thing. The micro cheating thing is just the excuse for the betrayed partner to not take a stand for themselves. To not live in personal empowerment and agency. It's like, oh, it's just micro cheating, so it's not that big of a problem. It's cheating. Take a stand for yourself. What are you worth? What are you wanting to be different? And will you advocate for yourself? Don't tolerate the bullshit. Don't do it. You don't have to. I'll make the assertion, in my opinion, it's not normal to masturbate while watching strangers have sex on the internet. Like, in what universe? It's like, oh yeah, hold on a second. I'm going to go look at this glass screen where there's human beings on the other side fornicating or reproducing, who knows? And I'm going to go get a nut off or whatever they say instead of creating real intimacy with you. Be right back. Have I thought about doing an audiobook? I think this is my audiobook. All right. And if you want to schedule a private call, you can go to link in my bio. It's $1 for a 30-minute call. It's a private call. We can talk about your situation, if I may be able to help. I don't know too much about the Bible or religions, but isn't it a sin? The Bible would say that there are all kinds of sexual immoralities. And a wise man once said, if you even look at a woman with lustful intent, you've committed adultery with her in your heart. It's a sin. Adultery is a sin, according to the Bible. $1 for a 30-minute discovery call, yes. My time is worth $2 an hour, watermelons. So you pay $1, you get 30 minutes. I jack the price all around on that. But yeah, my discovery call is $1. Careful though. There's a very high probability that you'll join one of my groups after scheduling that call. Careful. Your life might just change. Be careful. Be careful. I'm not selling myself short. Trust me. Don't stand in my... Yeah, if I get stood up, then it goes up to 50. Sorry, watermelons. It's a one-time discovery call for $1. And you know what? When somebody does rebook a $1 call, I still take the call, and you know what I do? I say, why did you not honor the agreement that this is a one-time call? And then we have a whole talk about integrity in their life. Seriously, I do this. I love it. Like, oh, you think you're just going to sit here and book $1 calls with me? Oh yeah, we're going to flip this right back. You're going to get coached hard. My one-on-one coaching is a lot more than $2 an hour, trust me. But careful, it just might change your life. It just might change your life. The guys that I see make the most progress the fastest are the ones who we do some deep, intentional one-on-one work as well as group work, and it does cost a lot of money. But you know what is more expensive? Not doing the work. And I'm not saying this is not a sales pitch for you to work with me. If you don't like me, fine, go work with somebody else. Get the help. Get the help. What will it take to take your life on in a different way? What are you willing to sacrifice? If you want to see what's important to somebody, look at what they spend their time and money on. That'll tell you. I'm in. Can I book a call for my husband? I wouldn't recommend that, Champagne. I would say if your husband wants to book a call with me, he should book a call with me, not you. Does he want anything to change in his life? Although those calls are really fun, though. When I get on, and it's a woman's name who schedules the call, and then I get on, and it's a woman on Zoom, and then once they get everything set up, they turn the phone towards their partner, and they're like, okay, you talk now. And I'm like, hey, do you want to be here? Do you want to be here right now? And if they say no, I'm like, great, we're done. I'll give you your $1 back. I don't care. But usually they want to be there, and then they join a group. Can I do a discovery call to try and change your mind about sex workers? Sure, you can. You get one. You get one $1 discovery call. If you want to use it to try to change my mind about sex workers, I'll probably just sit there and read the porn myth at you. Coach, what if I need a integrating talk every day? What does that mean? You book a call with me every day at my normal rate. Sure, I'll do that. It's proven to make people objectify women or something. It's just bad in genital. That's a Freudian slip. It's just bad in genital too. I think you meant in general. I am jumping off, Luke. This is like the long wind down. In genital. Coach, what does your call on your program consist of? For the women's group, we largely follow the book The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays. It's the best book, in my opinion, on betrayal trauma. Going through attachment styles, talking about your relationship, even each person's sexual history, just what your history is with your partner, what got you to this point with the betrayal, talking about patterns in your life that are keeping you stuck, trying to build resiliency and courage to make empowered decisions. It's a big theme in that book, something I'm big on, is making empowered decisions. It's an hour and 15-minute weekly Zoom call, led by myself and other female contributors on the women's call. The men's call is similar. We largely follow concepts from the book Unwanted by Jay Stringer and other books, but largely Unwanted is where I draw a lot of my stuff from. Hour and 15-minute weekly Zoom call where we can be in community with one another. One of the most powerful things on both sides of it, the men's and the women's. Right now it's 11:39 where I'm at. Is just naming the shame. Shame festers in the darkness, but it can't stand being spoken to the light. And shame keeps us stuck, whether it's a shame of our own behaviors or shame that we're carrying from our partner. It's called carried shame. It's a great community of people. So if you're interested in more, schedule a call. What time a day are these calls? We're in Australia. Might be ridiculous hours. No, I've actually had a bunch of people from Australia join recently. The women's call is like roughly noon Australia time. So it's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's at roughly noon. I don't know exactly the time zones in Australia, but noon Australia time. And then the men's call, the Tuesday night one would be, I think, roughly like 8 p.m. Australia time. And then the Wednesday call is at like 6 or 7 a.m. Australia time. But it's all on my website. Every time we aren't together and at the moment, we are long distance again. What's the percentage I'd agree on this? It depends on the night. But as you can imagine, my audience, they tend to agree that porn is cheating. Shocker, huh? All right, I'm going to bed. Make it a great day or not, everybody. The choice is always yours. Bye-bye.